Next session, the last panel discussion of this evening. Well, how many of us expect services to be instant, digital, and effortless? I think everybody will put their hand up. I will definitely, because whether it's banking, shopping, or even the travel booking, we all want everything to be instant. One term that has been, there with us throughout 3-4 years is the term called instant. The same expectation is now shaping the future of insurance. With the power of automation and AI, insurers are moving beyond the traditional model to create experiences that are predictive, at the same time frictionless, and of course fully automated and digital. Well, today, AI and automation are enabling insurers to analyze more vast amounts of data in real time and helping them predict risk earlier. Well, but the real transformation goes one step ahead beyond this. Let's discuss more on this, and I may now call upon distinguished panel. They are the esteemed industry leaders joining us on automation plus AI, unlocking a future where insurance is predictive, frictionless, and digital for all. I may now call upon Neelaksshi Shaalla, CRO, Bharti AXA Life Insurance. Can we have a huge round of applause and welcome her on stage? Joining the distinguished panel is Shami Kapoor, Senior Vice President and Head of Operation, Customer Service and Health Claims, Magma General Insurance Limited. Joining them is Nitin, Mandge, Health, Claims, Data Analytics and Automation, Tata AIG General Insurance Limited. Can we have a huge round of applause and welcome him on stage? Joining the panel is Abhijit, Kedia, CTO, Raheja, QBE General Insurance Company. Joining the panel is Mayur, Sankhe, Head of Business Development India, LUMIQ. Can we have a huge round of applause? Joining the panel is Vikas Gupta, Chief Risk Officer, Canara HSBC Life Insurance. Can we have a huge round of applause and welcome? So I think it's about building a future where insurance become accessible, more responsive, and I think seamlessly integrated to people everyday lives. And what a panel discussion, and the last panel discussion of the day. Can we have a huge round of applause of them? Thank you. Over to you, sir.
Well, good evening, everyone. I try to be a bit louder because I think Sainik's group has given me the toughest part of the event, because after a good lunch and a fantastic dessert, this last panel discussion, and I hope I would be louder so that nobody will sleep. And it's an effort from all of us to keep everyone awake and enlightened to this conversation. Okay, so since morning we are talking about AI, and even we go to office and we talk to our colleagues, they also talk about AI. If you open any social media app or a LinkedIn, they talk about AI. If you go to any movie app or any kind of application, they talk about AI. On the other hand, we say that insurance is a reactive industry where we sell the policy and then one day claim comes and then we ask for a lot of document process and kind of things. And on the other side, if you see the journey of last 30 years, on the same kind of panels, our senior would have talked about how the computer will change the world, how the Microsoft or Microsoft tools or the software automations will change the world, how the websites and things will change the world. And then come the machine learning we were talking about 3 years back, how the machine learning will change the world. Now this AI, data and automation has come into the market, and which tells this will be preventive, predictive, frictionless, and automation for all. So today we would like to unlock this session with all our esteemed panelists. And so let's see how the things goes up. And on that note, we will move towards the question rounds, and the questions are divided into the 4 sections. The first section will be the big picture. We try to analyze what is the big picture of the AI. On the second section, we will try to cover up the customer experience with the help of AI, how the future look like with the help of AI, and last but not the least, how AI is working into the core analytics piece and helping the industry. So with that note, my first question will go to Mr. Abhijit Kedia. And so we would like to know, so we always say about AI, as I said. So are we truly transforming the insurance model for the future with the help of AI, or we are just automating the broken processes?
Hello. I will break this question into two parts. First part of the question is whether in AI are we only fixing the broken process and how we are transforming it. So every company, as I listened to the earlier panels also, every company is taking it in a different approach and different use cases. So one thing I will say, you have now a jet engine. If you put a jet engine in a bullock cart, it is not going to work. It will make it faster, but it is not going to make it sustainable. So one of the biggest things what you have to do is you have to rethink your process, rethink how we interact with the customer, how we interact with our stakeholders, and then build our systems around and process around it. So actually AI can actually lead to a major digital transformation of all our technology ecosystems and the end user processes also. For example, right now how the insurance works, you first negotiate with the best, cheapest insurer, you buy the policy, and when the claim comes, you then haggle with the insurer on the bills whether this is payable or not. So this has to change because we are no longer working with the paper process or details. So many of the things, it is changing a bit. For example, in motor, we don't no longer ask for RC copy and other things. We directly get it from the API integrations and other details and then do underwriting based on the risk scoring what we have. So AI is complementing that and making the process much faster, simpler, and rewriting the process altogether. For example, we have to move from what I call it as a process-driven and document-driven workflow to a data-driven workflow altogether. So data-driven workflow doesn't ask for the authenticity of data and onus of the data movement to the customer, but it collaborates with the customer to get the data in real time, where we can get the data from a real time from other sources to make the customer's journey seamless. That's how I see the process being properly laid out. You can't think of it as, okay, I will do this particular AI tool to just read a document and implement it across. So you are just putting a jet engine on a bullock cart. It is not going to give you much benefit out there. What we have to look at is how we can integrate multiple sources of data together and reduce the rudimentary, mundane work for the underwriters and the claim processors to make it much simpler and faster. So the claim processors and underwriters are talking to the customers, to our partners on the empathetic ground, and also think about what they can add value overall to the scheme of things and make the life much easier for them. So that's how we have to look at AI and automation in totality, not as just fixing a small process and then make it forward. That's how we should target it out.
I think very rightly said, sir. So I think the use of AI should not be just based on the solving one problem. It should create a value chain within the organization, and it should also connect to all the silo system within the company, so that they talk between each other and you can take a wise decision. And as you rightly said, data is also plays an important role, where how the data architecture and the infrastructure should be in place so that can be implemented. So the same question, please.
So the most important part is how we are collecting the data. Data was earlier collected as complex claim forms and other things. It has to move from plainly getting the data from the complex claim forms instead to getting it data online from different sources. Maybe a hospital management systems, other APIs which are available, and get it done over there.
Yes, definitely right. Yeah. So we are getting data from different channels and sources nowadays. So I think I would like to put the same question to Neelaksshi ma'am, because I think Mr. Kedia has given the perspective from the general insurance perspective. I would like to know from the life insurance perspective, what is your thought that how are we truly transforming the insurance model for the future, or we are just fixing the broken chains?
So see, I began working in life insurance sector in 2001. And at that point of time, we used to create folders from the hard copy of the proposal forms that we used to get. Medical reports used to come in the physical format, and rest of the documents would also flow physically. If I see even till last 2 years, what was happening was we were trying to automate these workflows. Okay, the customer never comes to you and says that, please use AI to issue my policy. The customer's expectation is do a faster issuance. Customer's expectation is give me a seamless servicing experience. His expectation is that, the moment of truth in life insurance or insurance per se, the claims, give me an experience that I will remember for life. Okay. Now, have we truly settled that? No. We are still trying to digitize the processes. India has a very vast digital infrastructure. Are we leveraging it correctly? I am not sure. In life insurance, when the policy is taken, when the customer comes for servicing, when the nominee comes for claim, at each stage, we ask for at least 10 to 15 forms. Now, the hard copies have been replaced by the digital documents, or, we are taking it directly from some government sources. So, in that sense, it is still a broken system which is just automated so that efficiencies can be created. And there is still a long way. Let's say, I have a customer today who's single, takes a protection cover from me. Now, do I get the input after 5 years that he's married and he may be looking for an additional cover? Another few years, do I know he has had a baby and may be interested in a child plan or something else? So I did hear, the Aditya Birla person saying in one of the panels that they get this input from their bank. But that's possible, again, in a bank assurance setup only. What if you don't have a banker tie-up? You don't know the customer preferences. So how do you go about this? You have to move from an efficient ecosystem that is getting created now to a proactive, ecosystem where I know the customer. I know that he has had some health abnormality and I need to intervene and I need to nudge him so that he takes care of himself. Do we have an ecosystem where I get to know from the hospital that the customer visited or from the pharmacy that the customer is taking some medicines? So that is really the proactive stage. So right now, in my mind, we are still fixing the broken processes, the workflows, and just trying to be efficient about it.
Very rightly said, ma'am. So I think there's a saying that Rome is not built in a day. So I think to travel a journey, you have to take the first step towards that journey. So I think this broken chain, it starts with a broken chain, and then it goes towards the full-fledged system. And the kind of diversified India we are living in, so the things we think in the city like Mumbai, Bangalore, Hyderabad, and metros, the same thing we cannot think about the cities which are into the outskirts of the India. So maybe the AI is booming and we want to implement it as a full-fledged innovation, but we have to think for the all over the India as a diversified one, whether this innovation will help to the outskirts of India as well or not. So thank you so much, ma'am. So I think with that, I think the point which you have said about the customer don't care about AI. I think with that, my next question goes to Mr. Shami Kapoor, and I would like to also hear from Mr. Vikas Gupta on the same note. And the question is, customer don't care about AI, but they perhaps care about the speed and fairness. So are we improving the experience or just providing the dashboards?
So I think, Nitin, there are three things we have to understand. See, data has always been present when the business starts. The only thing what was missing was it was not placed the way it is supposed to be, right? And machine learning, data learning, all this have helped us to get the right insight from the data. While you get insights from the data, I think the beauty of AI today is it allows you to intelligently build those nudges. It tries to build those experiences which a customer doesn't expect sometimes when he's looking forward for a speed, right? So when you combine an artificial intelligence with the right data touch points and are able to understand at which journey level you want to disturb it, that's where the friction begins. You need to understand, you create a friction not for disturbing the customer, but making him comfort, right? And that's where the difference has to start happening. Point number two, as ma'am rightly said, we are fixing the broken journeys. But when we do that, are we fixing the journeys because we want it? Or we're trying to fix the journey what actually customer is asking for. And that's the second layer today I believe it is missing. And that's where our topic of panel is so important, where we talks about use digitized information, understand what customer wants from you, because when you know that, you build what he needs, and what he needs when he uses it, it gives him an experience, right? So that's very important. Third and the last thing, I think once we create something, we're very happy we have done, tested, and it's over. The beauty of AI today is, and data today is, you have to every day, every hour keep learning on it. keep enriching it. Because experience can't be just once. Experience have to be n number of times when a customer comes and interact with you. And I'll give a very simple example. I've shared this earlier also in few of my forums. I was flying through an airline and the flight was delayed. So I was made to wait in a lounge, right? Suddenly someone comes up to me, next to me and says me, this is your favorite drink. And I'm very sorry for the delay. Hope you enjoy your drink. I was not excited about I was given a free drink. What I was excited was how this person came to know this is my favorite drink. And when I went back and asked the person, can you just help me understand? Because मैंने कोई form नहीं भरा है recently आपका, कुछ भी नहीं किया. He says when you created your member ID, we asked certain preferences to you. And that information was available there. Now that's exactly what I was saying. You have data. You have artificial intelligence to let you know what to do. You just have to create that frictionless journey from our customer where he belongs in it and does not think that he owns it.
Very true. I think with the same question, I will like to Mr. Vivek Gupta to put some light on it.
Vikas Gupta. Okay. Hello. So I think a lot have already spoken by Shami on this particular topic. So if I want to give my thoughts on speed and fairness, right? Whether the customer asks the same speed which they were looking for like almost 10 years back or 5 years back, even a year back, right? We have gone to an instant model where like we expect a 10 minutes delivery on our Swiggy, Instamart and so on and so forth, right? So I think, as rightly said by, I think, co-panelists in terms of broken data, but definitely we have to start and build the data someday, and there the journey is. So in terms of, when I talk about speed, right, how the speed will come, till the time you're not aware of the customer, you're not using that data, and you're not basically using it generatively and agentically also. So AI, when we talk about normal AI, is talk about like automation of a lot of things. But when it started looking at the customer preferences, say for example, we do a call to the customer, right? Currently we are depending on the call center guy to note down what is the customer preferences and all those things. But when we're talking about nowadays in terms of the AI, when the customer is talking, the keywords picking, in terms of recording the whole statement and understanding the tonality and the sentimental analysis of the customer and then offering the solution. So that becomes speedy and fairness in terms of both. Second, I think if you talk about insurance, definitely we have a lot of broken processes. And I think everybody must have received, okay, we'll get back to you in 15 days, we'll get back to you in 15 days without the two different agents talking to each other, and because they're not referring to the notes which are real time and other things. I think there where the overall build-up of the agentic AI and the basically generative AI comes into picture, where basically it is learning real time and recording what the customer preferences are with the particular age, with a particular profile, with a particular geography, as rightly said by him. In terms of a rural customer, expectation will be very different from urban and suburban customers. So somebody may want to speak to a call center guy in a particular language, right? So we all also suffer from that perspective, that how many language call center employees we can have. But I think AI can solve that problem in terms of real-time transmitting the data, understanding the requirement and transmitting back to the customer. So I think speed is definitely which we are trying to fix, and I think still early days, to be honest, from an insurance perspective to adopt AI. We are also working so when I divide in terms of the benefits of AI from the fairness perspective, whether we are treating every customer in a similar manner, and what is the expectation and the need of the customer. I think that is something which, with the whole data set which we have and which will be churned over the period of time by data science and data learning and other things, will definitely help on that particular front. And it will also help us to build the products. So fairness is not only about servicing. I think when we have to develop our products, when the customer is talking about, and maybe say a number of customers talking about particular feature, number of customers talking about particular product category, particular returns, and so on and so forth. So definitely this, the data getting collected and generated by the artificial intelligence team will definitely help in developing the new products, bringing more efficiency to all the processes, and I think the productivity of the sales team. So just to give one example in terms of fairness again, so as a company, Canara HSBC, we started working something called on the CHL GPT, which we call. It is all about in terms of giving a tool in the hands of the salespeople where they can compare and where they can basis the customer understanding, come out with the solutions in a real-time manner and even share the quote with the customer on the real-time manner with the customer. So that helps basically in terms of collecting the information from a suitability and the need analysis perspective, what the customer really needs, and offering the right product to them. I think that is becoming a theme of nowadays from a RBI and other perspective also. I think that will help us in the long way. So I think it's still a long way to go, but customer definitely expects speed and fairness, which AI can only serve, to be honest. So expectations are changing, and definitely AI is not something which we can avoid.
Very rightly said, Shami sir and Vikas sir. So I think in morning also we were having a discussion on the similar kind of thing. And we have also realized that, as sir said, it's not just about the data and the dashboard, it's about learning what we take and we convert it into the intelligence and we can help the customer with the output kind of thing. So like in few companies, the people are doing that. If you have a vehicle accident, you just click the photo, put it into the app decides the kind of damages, and if it's a low value claim, and the customer has a good history, he's renewing with us for 7 years, then hassle-free claims within same time. So I think this kind of automation, and this can only be happen if you know the behavior, patterns, geography, and the background of that customer. And that can only come with the intelligence which comes from our data. So I think the customer is not looking for AI, they are looking for intelligence and how we can treat them. So I think very insightful point. With that, we will move to the third segment, is how the future look like. So I would like to put this question to Neelaksshi and Mayur. So what one legacy practice we should kill in the next 3 to 5 years, and one process that will disappear in next 5 years?
Thank you so much, Nitin. And I like Shami was saying that he had discussed this in various forums. So what's your favorite drink, by the way? What's your favorite drink? Yep, because they knew it. Mojito. Acha. Superb. So, in fact, I would speak from the layman's perspective because I am sitting here with the industry veterans, right? So as far as I know, insurance is probably the only industry where customer buys a promise today with a hope they will never use it. And when they finally need it, they will pray that this process works, right? So I'm sure automation and AI has the full potential, at least it has shown the promise of finally changing this promise into something which is predictable and frictionless. So, okay, again, from layman's perspective, how does today's digital insurance journey looks like, right from outside? You fill a form online, it becomes a PDF, someone downloads it, uploads it somewhere else, and multiple people in the approval chain, approve it, right? So more than a digital transformation, it's a PDF transformation. Yeah, so coming back to answer your question, in coming times, what will disappear is, instead of documents moving between the people, we will see data moving between the intelligent systems. So I believe many of today's manual approval chain will disappear. I can say this because at LUMIQ.ai, again, I'm being a sales guy, I should do my job, right? So I can say this because at LUMIQ.ai, we have seen that because we work deeply with insurers for last 13 plus years, right? And with that deep domain expertise only, we were able to build an agentic AI platform, which is called LightCone. And through this platform, we have built multiple agents which are automating your health underwriting or life underwriting or your medical claim adjudication process, right? And we have live use cases wherein this AI models have reduced the total turnaround time by over 60%. And the efficiency as well as the ROI, I think so that's a different topic we can discuss in private. But yeah, that's the change which we have seen. So when we see outcomes like this, I can say the future of insurance is not just digital, it is intelligent. So yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, Neelaksshi, over to you.
So I think I kind of agree with what you shared, Mayur, and in extension to that, like you said, the insurance product is brought today with the promise to honor it at a later stage. And that stage is unfortunately the death claim stage. And instead of, the way our ecosystem landscape is right now, we don't have connected hospital records, connected records of death being registered. I think this is one big transformation that I really wish should happen in insurance per se, not just life. That why should there be a need to intimate death when it is being registered in the government record? The entire ecosystem should be connected and structured in a way that the information of birth or death flows directly to the life insurers, and they know either they have to cross-sell because there has been a birth, and in case of a death, give that seamless, frictionless experience instead of asking for, plethora of documents or information. Doctor se ye likha ke laiye, doctor ne ye nahi likha, stamp nahi hai. Those kind of frivolous reasons for which sometimes when the death claim is delayed and the experience is completely broken for the customers. So that is one thing I really want, I really wish that, the ecosystem evolves to support this. And I think the second part of the question you said was that, which is?
The thing which will disappear in next 5 years.
Thing which will, no, this is what will disappear actually.
Yeah.
And,
okay, the first one is, what should we kill?
What should we kill? What should we kill? I think these frictionless experiences is something what we should kill. And we should also understand that AI is a fancy thing today, but it can be as messy as your data. So unless, your data is structured, your data is arranged in a manner that your legacy systems support it in a common data lake format and you can use this effectively, without that, the entire essence and the essence of the life insurance company or the trust or the experience of the customer, the credibility can never be won. You can never exist as a brand unless you work on these basic elements, as per me.
I think rightly said, but this is from the customer perspective when we say a hassle-free, invisible process where the customer do not have to chase the company. Everything is happening on time with the help of AI, transformation, data, and kind of things. But if we see from the other perspective from the employees, where we say if the AI will be there, the process will be invisible, the customer will be happy, but how the office will look like. So I just want to, any one of you who want to comment on what is the future of AI when it comes to the office things? Will that things will be 100% automated, or we will still require people to do the job?
Just quick 30 seconds. Human in loop will never go away. The nature of work will change, but people will not, it's not that the office will be vacated, the skills will change.
Shami sir, what is your thought on this?
See, I think I can explain with a very simple example. पहले वो बड़ा monitor आता था computer का. All of us were excited about it, right? Today, if in this room, if you see someone sitting with that big monitor and a person next to sitting with an iPad, you'll be shocked on that person who is using that big machine, right? So it's not about the technology. It's not about the evolution of the landscape which we are living into. It's about us. And if we don't want to get replaced, it's time for us to learn much faster than what the system can learn. At the end, it learns from us. So we don't learn from it. But saying so, there are certain two risk areas we need to also be very sure. Yes, it can replace us. What we need to focus across is the leverage, the capacity to leverage it in the right direction will allow people sitting in offices to be more proactive and predictive in what they want to do. I think the earlier panel was also trying to indicate the same thing.
Rightly said, sir. Yeah,
I will also like to add the point. So you spoke about, Shami spoke about, and Neelaksshi ma'am spoke about human with AI, right? That is human in the loop. And same about the evolvement of technology. Earlier, internet was there. Then during COVID times, earlier then cloud came. In COVID times, we saw that, yes, everyone were working from home, but technology adapted, and along with that, all the employees or people evolved with that, right? And now we are talking about AI. So we can take it from different way. So if technology is evolving, we are adopting how to work with AI. Because human would always be there in the loop. In fact, we can become more empowered by using AI, and skill set would be more beneficial for the organizations. It would be more strategic. We might be able to achieve much, much bigger goals, which we wouldn't have achieved if AI is not there. That's what I think. Let's think positively.
I also agree completely with you. I think it is working with AI. To be honest, is it going to, so some of the things which I am monitoring in the industry, some of the things which we're not thinking of doing because the cost is very high, how much time it will take 6 months to develop. What I'm seeing from a no-code, low-code technology perspective, when I'm giving a good BRD to the system, right, it's giving me a 60% code output at a real-time basis, and then my time to delivery actually reduces from a 6 months to a 2 months time. So I think it is more, I think it increases, as per me, it increases the productivity from a Salesforce perspective. The person will be more informed, know how to basically deal with the customer, what type of proposition need to be sell, and what type of really potential is there from a customer perspective. Secondly, when you talk about the efficiency, definitely it will give a seamless experience to the customer and more informative, and also favor the company from how to deal with the customer in a better manner so that you do not have better complaints. When you talk about predictive, right? So persistency, claims, and other risk parameters are very common in insurance industry, right? When you do a predictive analysis, when you are able to basically know where the claim can go, what type of persistency can go, you can improve your profits. So I think this is the way to go. There is no way you can basically shy away from this. This will bring efficiency, and efficiency with more productivity will definitely bring more jobs, and the whole ecosystem will grow, and I think nobody should be really worried about it.
Sure. Rightly said, sir. Mr. Kedia, what is your thought on this?
See, the biggest thing what we'll foresee with AI coming into fore is the nature of job will change, definitely. So basically, instead of maybe a mundane desk processing job, means you see an underwriting department, they have underwriting assistants, then who process that formats the document for the final underwriter to take a call, and then that underwriter bases the interpretation of his prior person takes a call. So all those time-taking effort will reduce. It will eliminate, and only the person at the final underwriting point where he has to make a empathetic call, interact with the customer, and then take a call, will do the work. So that is part one of it. Second part, on the very nudges will come. So basically, 10 years back when the digitization was in a big name that we are doing digitization, we are changing the monoliths into different kind of applications, modernizing it, web-based applications. It didn't take away the jobs. The job nature changed. So that's what will happen.
Very true, very true. I think, sir, so the takeaway is that we have to learn and adapt, and the time takes its curve to balance it out. But however, definitely the things which will happen, that the simple things can be done by AI, however the complex thing will be done by the humans. And whatever will be happen, the machine can recommend, but human will be responsible. So somewhere we need humans to track, govern, and to check the things. So I think very good insight on this. I think that we are going to the last segment of the question is, and which is called the AI in core analytics, and this is one of my favorite topic because I'm that field. So this question is to all of you. So you can take 2 minutes to answer this. So everybody is talking about the Gen AI and it's transforming insurance. But I want to know what exactly it is doing, what analytics is not doing in last 10 decades. So is there anything upper hand of AI when it's come to the analytics, what we have not seen in last 10 decades? And we also would like to know the guardrails and the legal acceptance of those things.
So I think, Nitin, most people were not there in the room when Mayur was talking about the intelligent tool which they have built in helping in doing underwriting and claim decisioning, right? So coming back to your point, analytics, as I said in my earlier conversation, data was resting with us. Was it being used was the question. Are we understanding it was the area we had to thought through. So I think what AI is trying to do or help us across is understand what is beyond in large scale to know. Right? And to give a very basic example, when you do a claim assessment, you have one medical report for 100 people. If I expect Nitin to ensure that he catches that this one medical report is across all 100 patients, wouldn't be possible, right? But that's where the AI will help him to do. He'll identify the pattern, identify the trend, the exact values, and throw an alert. It might not be decisive, but it'll be giving an alert. That's the change today, what a technology is trying to give back to us. So that's where you have to start thinking, how do you adopt? And trust me, the tool of LUMIQ, I have personally seen it, and I'm not trying to be a brand ambassador for them, but what I want to say across is that when companies like these are thinking of giving us an upper edge, it's us, how you create this frictionless journeys in a very combined manner, but it has to be tightly coupled. The moment it is loose-ended, the value of data goes off, your governance goes off, and your experience goes for completely toss.
Just want to add what Shami Shami said, in terms of response in the time way, or basically how quickly we respond to a particular event or a particular scenario which is building. So if you talk about were we doing machine learning or basically analytics earlier, answer is yes, yeah, we were doing. Right? Whether we were doing on a real-time basis or whether the models were capable of learning on a real-time basis, that was completely missing. I think that was something a generative AI will bring, where they're learning on the go, they're identifying a new patterns which are getting built, they're giving the prompts, okay, these are new patterns which are getting built, you need to be careful. Say, for example, everybody knows about Sambalpur case, right? All the industry, the whole industry is completely fragmented from that perspective. Okay, somebody getting some claim and all those things. Tomorrow in a blockchain scenario, when we get into, say, a blockchain scenario, when all the insurers agree in terms of getting into blockchain and getting the real-time feed, I think this is something an AI can do where they can identify the pattern on a real-time basis and give you a prompt, boss, this is something wrong happening, you should be careful. You should not wait for a 6 months or 1 year time to make your model learn again and again. I think that is something, it will change, right? True.
I think just building on to what Shami and Vikas shared, Gen AI also helps you to build the rebuttals very effectively, which analytics was not doing. Analytics was only giving you, predicting that this customer has a propensity to not pay or this customer has a propensity to die early. But what are the alternatives if that customer approaches us? What do we nudge them? Or simple things in servicing where if a customer is interacting with you and Gen AI tool realizes that there is a premium due. So the value addition from this tool is it will ask, do you want us to debit your account? Give us the consent. So these kind of things, small things which go a long way in first giving a good customer experience and also building in efficiency in the system is something that analytics could not help you do.
I think I have seen you very closely, Nitin, working on this. You have heard from all of us, and I'm really excited to know from you, what is your view on this?
Yeah, definitely. So I think the few points that you guys have already covered, that there's one thing is a real-time thing, and the thing is called a blockchain, where we can create a good blockchain and get a retrieve data from within the industry and on a real time. And third thing, what Neelaksshi has added is about explainability. So here is the change what the AI can do. So till ML, machine learning, it is a black box model. It does not give you the why it has happened. It only tells you what. So something is suspicious, something is not right, but it's why it is not right. Sometimes the statistical and black box model does not give you. Here the AI plays a very important role, the way it tells you the why, the explainability of the things. Second thing is that in last traditional analytics for last 10 years, most of the companies has worked on to structured data. So we have a claim data, we have a policy data, and we just take this and create a models kind of thing, and most of them are structured. Though the company has used some part of NLP to an extent, but again, it was not much explainable. Here, AI, and if you see the insurance industry, it's full of unstructured data, from hospital documents to billing papers to garage assessment sheets to survey reports to investigation reports. And this all metadata and unstructured data, here the AI will play a very important role. It can correlate with the policy document, it can go to the claim history, it can go to the geography, it can go to the patterns, it can go to the behavior, it can read the document, it can talk to the underwriting data and give you the summary. So I think here the voice of traditional analytics and this Gen AI is creating a difference. Well, I think yeah, you want to add something?
No, you have almost covered the entire this question. But yeah, I would be more than glad that industry leaders like you are the brand ambassadors for us. So yeah, and just to add on to what you already spoke about, right? So if AI is the brain, right, data is the oxygen. So for that to happen, data needs to be unified and trusted. Then naturally, automation, AI, or distribution, innovation, that will happen naturally. So I believe if data, analytics, and AI, I think so, they are from the same family. So for that, data foundation needs to be strong and trusted. I believe then we can achieve what we are aiming to achieve.
Absolutely, absolutely right. Okay, so we have come to the last section of our event. It's a rapid fire. I think this is one question, and it's a very interesting question to all of you. And we just want a short answer from each one of you. So suppose if you have 100 crores to invest on an AI, what would be your priority? AI, data infra, distribution, automation, or empowerment?
Data infra, any day.
Data and infra, any day.
I would want to take that 100 crores with me at home, but it's okay. that's on the lighter side. But yes, AI or infra, very, very important.
Data infra is very important.
For me, it is empowerment, data, and infra.
Okay, so you give the first rank to empowerment and then data. Yeah, great.
Yeah, I won't be greedy. I would take 50% at home, and 50% I would invest in data platforms.
So I think data platforms and distribution, I'll go for that.
Yes, absolutely right. I think I have asked this question to many people, and I think the common answer which comes is about a data architecture and data infra, because it's only drives the whole AI scenario when it's come to LLM models or any kind of agentic kind of things. So I think very insightful discussion with each one of you, and I think the only thing which comes to mind after learning from each one of you is that, and our topic as says whether this automation plus AI is predictive, frictionless. So when it's come to predictive, I can say that till now, what are the kind of analytics we have done, or a use of traditional way of using systems, we were driving the seat by seeing at the rear view mirror of the car. But I think with the AI, it should be the windshield through which we will see the business and we will take it ahead. So I think we have a few minutes left. If anybody would like to ask any questions, please welcome.
We can take one question probably, because we have a time left.
Yeah, so there's one question.
Yeah, can we have a mic passed on? Just one question.
Hello. I have just one question. I think Nitin was there in the morning discussions also, wherein people were talking human intelligence plus AI. So all the speakers have kind of agreed upon that. Secondly, I've just picked up something from Chirag, what he had spoken, and also Gaurav Saxena, since morning he had spoken. Is there a AI would replace only the retail kind of a thing for automation, or we are moving, Abhijit sir, to the expertise kind of thing to automate? Example I would give is, in the morning we had discussion whether the call center, only the lower ticket size could be on the automated part, right? And question what I would like to ask is, example, somebody had a Ferrari, 5 crores. There you obviously need a expertise and a human intervention. So how are we, going to predict the future? It would be slicing, dicing, or it would be like block to block building? Yeah.
So I will take this first question part of it, whether the AI is helping us in the complex or high value ticket items. So being a commercial insurers, I can say with confidence and with the information that our underwriters are using AI to evaluate multiple risks, but with proper guardrails so that the confidential data is not shared on the bigger platforms. And we are able to cut down the time to evaluate many of the proposals to a very, very small time. So this is actually happening. And as a next stage, in next 1 year, we are looking to integrate all these things in our existing workflows to make it more efficient. So this is actually happening. It's not only limited to call center optimization, voice bots and other things, but it is actually implementing and getting disseminated to all the other aspects of the businesses also.
So, and even I would like to add in some other way. So if you go to any app, and if you're buying a policy up to very low amount, that app will issue the policy and the PDF will come to your home. But if you will go and app for 10 crore of insurance, that person will directly call you, sir, where are you? I would like to come to your home. So at the time of sales also, if you want to do a very high ticket sales, the person wants to meet face to face to understand the things and to go deeper into it. So same thing with the claims. So as we said, human in loop. So wherever there's a simple things, then AI can handle, and that kind of validation we have to keep in place. And wherever there's a complex thing, there should be always a route, how it should be routed to the right person, to the right team, I think.
Yeah, very small one. Huh? We were crucial on time. Sorry.
Don't say thank you.
I just wanted to know what do we estimate? When are we going to reach the break even on the investments that we are making on AI? So let's say we are automating a lot of things. We are investing hugely on it. What do we predict?
I think that's not right. You are the one who works on it so diligently, and you are asking this to us. But anyways, to answer, I think that's the whole problem today is we always run behind ROI on this entire piece. And my personal learning, again, I may be wrong. We have got the industry team across here, but I think more than ROI, what we have not yet understood is the potential it carries today. You know, we are trying to make it a part of our process rather than making a part of decision-making process. If that shift happens, trust me, your question on ROI will definitely start reflecting. While we definitely see identifying customers, creating customer cohorts, giving them nudges, giving them experience will lead to business revenues. But more than business revenues, you know, as a pure process guy, what I look forward is, am I prepared for next 5, 7, 10 years? Because tech changes every 5 years. The expectation changes every minute. Now, how do I match that? I don't know right now the answer. But what I believe is I have to keep learning, and ROI will come when it is supposed to be there, you know.
Okay, just to add, right, ROI, break even, I think so that's the point for discussion later. But just think from this perspective, what if your competition is going ahead with the AI implementation, and what if not you're doing that? Still the old problem will exist, right? That is leakage, frauds, then manual underwriting, which will take up to, that is turnaround time would be still longer compared to AI driven, right? So think from that perspective, I think so, then it will give you a more clearer picture.
And I believe the AI is more like making a national highway. So you put a lot of cost and you have to put a toll nakas to take years to...
So I will give you a classical example. When initially the machine learning models were there for fraud detections, companies have invested huge amount of money in that. And similar models can now be run using GenAI at a fraction of a cost. So with GenAI, where you can process huge amount of data, even a 10% recovery and reduction of claims due to fraud detection can give you the ROI what you have invested for the whole company. So the ROI is there. It's how you capitalize it.
Thank you much, sir. I think I haven't thought that this is the last panel discussion and so many questions will come. And I think the people were very silent since 4. And I think we are very grateful, but I think it's a time we are going above the time and we have a session again for the felicitation. So we have to close it here. So thank you so much for all our panelists for coming on this podium. And thanks so much all the audience for listening to us and being here. Thank you so much.
I think this session was interesting because the future of insurance is something no longer that we have to wait and think what's going to happen. Because I think in all the conversation we're building brick by brick this landscape, we're actually building the future right here, right now on this platform. That's why it got very interesting and that's why people are pouring with questions. Fabulous panel. Can we have a huge round of applause? Amazing and a very interactive one. May I now call upon Mr. Shashi Bhargava from Datamatics to please join us on stage to felicitate our fabulous panel. I'll request Neelaksshi, Shaalla, CRO, Bharti AXA Life Insurance to please join us on the center stage. Can we have a huge round of applause for Neelaksshi? Thank you so much once again. A very insightful talks from you. I call upon Shami Kapoor. Please accept the memento. Thank you so much once again. Once again, a great perspective that you have shared. Can we have a huge round of applause for Mr. Kapoor, please? May I now call upon Nitin Mandge, our moderator, for conducting this very fabulous session. Can we have a huge round of applause and welcome him, please? Thank you so much for setting the context of this entire panel. May I now call upon Abhijit Kedia, Raheja QBE General Insurance Company. Thank you once again, sir. Once again, a very constructive talks from you. I may call upon Mayur Sankhe from LUMIQ. Thank you so much once again. Can we have a huge round of applause for Mr. Mayur as well? I'll request Vikas Gupta to please join us on center stage. Thank you once again, a very powerful conversation from the entire panel Thank you, esteemed leaders, for joining us. I will now request all of you to please join us on center stage for a group picture, please. Sir, Mr. Sashi, I'll request you to please join us. Welcome on, ladies and gentlemen. This is also the last panel discussion. Can we have a huge round of applause for all the industry leaders out here?